Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about respecking and changing everything on your character if you don't like your current setup. But before we get into it, I'm giving away some Lucent, 1000 total. Leave a comment down below, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and that will be announced quite soon. So, weapons. For me, when I started this game, I just started with the sword and the longbow, and I never changed off it. Anything that I got, I just kind of put my growth books into and just didn't even think about any kind of stats or anything like that. The only kind of stats I really just tried to do was the strength, dexterity, wisdom, perception, which honestly probably not the best rolls. Luckily you can reset them. I'm going to talk about respecking and changing things within your character. Now, one of the things that you need to think of when you are changing your characters is your weapon mastery. So if we go into our skills, you can see that my greatsword is level 6 weapon mastery and my longbow is level 5. This essentially is extra damage, extra buffs, extra abilities for your character depending on how you want to stack your character. So for instance, I've gone for mostly damage stuff down here, but I could go for mostly defense stuff. But I'm probably going to switch to sword and shield, so I don't really need the defense stuff, but I could keep my greatsword for damage while also having a few stuns when it comes to the skills, so that I've got a really good tanking build. I probably haven't really looked into this too much. I'm going to though. I'm going to make a really good build, hopefully. So weapon mastery, if you didn't know how to do it, is through the contract manager. So if we go over here, you can see that if I do this contract, I will get 5 training dues for 100 points. The more of these you use whilst you having your weapons equipped, the more they will level up in weapon mastery. So for instance, what I have been doing is I've been switching to sword and shield off the bow and using those dues, and then that means that my sword and shield is going up as well. So my sword here is going up to level 6 because I've been using them, I've been equipping them and then using the little teardrop thing. So that is essentially what you want to do before you change into another weapon type. The best thing to do is start building up its weapon mastery. So for instance, for me, I didn't have any kind of green, blue sword and shield that I could use. So I just bought one of the white ones and I've been using that to equip once like this and then use the dues and then just go back to my longbow. So I'm building up all my weapon mastery on the sword before I even decide to switch to it. Alongside weapon mastery as well, you obviously have your stat points over here. For something like daggers and crossbows, dexterity is probably going to come in really good. Wisdom, perception, you know, these are all going to tie to like your mana, so your staffs and your wands. And then perception is pretty much just good for everything. And then strength, obviously, for any kind of DPS. I haven't really kind of broken this down and seen what's the best roles for best characters, but that is what I'm going to do. You can just go in here and reset your stats and then be able to put them in wherever you want to put them into, which I'm not going to do right now because I'm not ready to actually fully change over yet. But that's what you need to do when you change to a new weapon. You really want to consider what stats you need on your new character's role depending on what weapons they have. So that's fairly straightforward to be able to, you know, get everything that you need in terms of your stat points and your weapon mastery. So now we can look at skills, right? So skills, as you know, you can upgrade them. So if I go over to here to this, I can use my growth books to level them up. Now I've got quite a few growth books. So essentially what I could do is I could equip my sword and shield and go in and start leveling up skills that I think are going to be useful just by clicking on them and leveling them up. You can do this if you have enough growth skill books, absolutely do it. But if you don't have enough books, there is a way you can literally transfer all of your XP from any single skill and put it into any other skill. So for instance, if I go over here to my bow, let's just equip that back on like this, and we go to skills, I can now go into any one of these, go to swap, and now I get to pick and choose what I want to do. I could choose any one of these skills. Let's just take this level 3 Nature's Blessing. I tried it out a little bit, didn't feel like it was that worth it for what I wanted to do, so I stopped growing it. However, I can take that XP here, so I'm a level 3 green on it, and I can swap it into any of the abilities that they show here. So for instance, if I want to use the chain hook with my sword or the provoking roar, all I have to do is click it, and you can see now that the Nature's Blessing goes down from level 3 to level 1. 5%, 0%, uncommon level 3, level 1, and instead it will get put into this new ability goes from 0% level 1 to 5% level 3 and the uncommon level. So you are literally taking everything off this skill and putting it onto another skill. Now you need skill conversion books. Throughout the campaign, as you complete it, you will get offered these kind of skill conversion book chests for you to take. You'll have 24 in total just from completing the campaign. So essentially, you'll be able to swap your role, your weapons once, maybe twice, depending on how many abilities you want to infuse into. And that's what I'm going to call it from now on, infusing. And, you know, you get to use them and just be able to do anything you want. For instance, if I go over to this move, which I'm never going to change, but I go to swap, I can now go and pick, you know, this one here, and it will instantly go up to purple level 2 from 0, and I'll use 1 skill conversion book. So that is how you swap your skills to a new weapon type if you want to change weapons. Or you could just change your weapons, equip it, level it up the normal way, use your growth books. But if there are certain things that you think are really useful that you want to do straight away, so for instance the sword and shield, you know, I want to get like as much defense as possible so I can tank, I could maybe convert 3 skills over. I'll level up 3 skills and then use my books on all the other little ones to add to it. This also goes for your defense skills, so you can go in here and swap, and you can swap it to another one. My shield survival technique's already level 5, so even if I went to do that, it would swap it the opposite way and this would get more. So, you know, it's just a very simple, straightforward. Also your passives as well. Passives can also be swapped. So, you know, my greatsword I'm never really going to change, but I could if I wanted to go and get, you know, skillful evasion or resilient mind leveled up instantly. Now the issue is where do you get these skill conversion books from within the game? And as far as I can see, they are only available in the Zenith Star shop through the battle pass. There might be like some higher end activities that may drop them, I don't know. So if I go in here and go down here, you can see skill conversion book. You get 1 for 250 star coins, whatever the hell these things are called. Very, 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 very expensive. You barely get any. I'm up to rank 42 and I only have 280, so definitely not worth it. But as far as I can see, that's the only other place that has them. Maybe I'm missing something. Let me know down below in the comments if I'm missing something. But going through the story, you're going to get enough to at least change and respec once, and again maybe twice depending on how many abilities you change. And that's about it. That's just a quick little guide on how converting your skill, XP and other things that you might need to respec works, and the best way to go around it, I guess. Let me know what you think down below. Thank you for watching. I've been easynow. You guys have been awesome.